Hello. I have tried to film this video on 3 separate occasions. 3 whole separate occasions. And I keep losing track. So I did what I didn't want to do. And I have notes. So if I'm looking down, it's because I have my notes. I want to talk to you guys, share with you guys about something, or tell you guys about something really important to me. And it should be really important to you. It is self-care. Self-care. You know, you always see hashtag self-care Sunday, or oh my god, I'm getting in the bath tonight, hashtag self-care, or whatever it may be. And sometimes it seems a little daunting. So I want to give you guys my tips from me to you, about how to get started, I guess, because it just seems like everybody has their self-care routine and it's filled with expensive skincare and taking a bath, and it takes all day, and this and this and this and this and this, and that's not where people started. I think that's intimidating when you first start out and you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you don't know if something you're doing is classified as self-care or not. You know, 2017 was rough, to say the least, and it could have been a great year for you personally. I had a kind of a shitty year, but I didn't let that stop me. So, and you know, the outside world is crazy, and every day, every couple hours, there's a new thing, and so I think self-care can be one of those things where it keeps you grounded and keeps you in reality, in your own reality, and not worried about other people who run things in this world who are crazy. So 2018, especially for me, I want it to be the year that I get back to basics, ground myself, you know, get to know myself, get to know my body and everything. And I want to share that, guys. I want to share that with you guys because I think that's so personal and so relatable too. And I think it's something that people think is really hard, and it's really not. It just takes some practice. First things first is that self-care should not be used as a replacement for literal health care, mentally or physically. You are going to use it to aid in the process of recovering or living with a mental illness. Make sure it's a supplement and not the actual cure for it. You know, make sure it's an aid to use along with your regular life. And even if you aren't suffering with a mental illness, you can still use it. Everyone needs it. Everyone should do it. Everyone's looks different, which I think is really important, but make sure that if you need to go talk to somebody, or if you need to be on meds or anything like that, you go and take the appropriate channels for that. Other disclaimer, I think, which is the most important thing, I touched on it a little bit earlier, but you do not have to make your self-care Instagram worthy or blog worthy or look pretty. It does not have to be anything like that. It is simply anything that makes you happy and content with your life and fills you with joy. And it can be anything. You could have several different ones. I have several different ones. The first thing to help you start a self-care ritual or routine, whichever you want to call it, is to identify what gives you joy in life and what makes you happy. Maybe you like to cook, maybe you like to read, maybe you like to do yoga, maybe you like to meditate, maybe you like to sit and watch Game of Thrones, maybe you like to color, maybe you like to paint, maybe you like to make videos, maybe you like to sit in bed all day with a bottle of wine. Maybe it's connecting with a friend, maybe it's hanging out with your family. It can be anything that makes you happy in life. And I think that's the most important step, is to just start and find one thing. All you have to do is find one thing that makes you happy. To help you guys, I'm going to go through some of my self-care routines. I actually have a lot, but they're not routines. I have, like, how many did I put here? I have 2 routines. Well, I have 1 routine, really. The reason I have more than one is because sometimes I don't have time to do 4 hours of yoga and meditation and masking and taking a bath and, you know, doing a whole skincare. I mean, I do a whole skincare routine, but sometimes I don't have time to make it 4 hours long. So I like to do a couple different ones depending on my mood. Sometimes I don't realize it's self-care until I'm done with it and I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. I just feel so much better. So the first one is the most simplest one that you'll probably ever find. And it is free. It's free. Like, how could you beat that? It's simple and it's free. Like, how easy is that? I'm pointing to a window. It's literally going outside. Go outside. Go. Go get some fresh air. Get out of your room. Get out of your house. Go enjoy the fresh air. Sometimes all it takes for me is fresh air. Other times it's actually going and enjoying nature and going on a walk. I have the luxury of having a lot of different like preserved land, forest preserves around me. There are several little nooks in my neighborhood and in the neighborhoods around me that I can conveniently walk to. There are other ones that are maybe a 10-minute drive away from me. So that's my favorite thing to do, is go in nature. I have a really big problem with not being in nature for an extended period of time. It gives me a lot of anxiety, and then I don't realize that until I go outside and I'm like, oh, that's right. Like, winter is really rough for me sometimes, or like when I'm sick in the wintertime, I'm like a caged animal and I need to get out. So I just go for a walk. I put on a podcast, maybe listen to music. Usually I put on a podcast because music distracts me and podcasts, I don't know, at least I'm learning something usually. I have a lot of podcasts that I listen to. My favorite one is called So Retrograde, and it's a health and wellness podcast. And for some people it might be a little too hippy dippy and might be a little too, oh, you only eat organic. I don't only eat organic. My dad does work for Trader Joe's, but I don't only eat organic. I had Culver's for lunch today, so sometimes self-care is Culver's. Ha! I will link all the podcasts I listen to down below because I listen to so many different podcasts, and it's such a wide variety of podcasts. I listen to fantasy ones, storytelling ones, what else? Like learning ones, health and wellness ones, self-care ones, society and culture ones. I have recently found a few of them. Now, keep in mind, they might be a little too hippy-dippy for you. Some of them, the self-care ones and the society and culture ones, might be a little too hippie for you, or spiritual for you, or whatever. You might not be down on that. You might not be on that journey. I'm on that journey. So, but I will link them all down below because they're fabulous. And even if you don't like all of that hippy-dippy stuff, I suggest giving 1 or 2 episodes a listen to, because scrolling through, the archives, giving 1 or 2 a listen to, because you never know what you're going to learn, and you should open up your mind. So the second routine, and this is actually a routine, pretty much takes me all evening or afternoon, depending on what time I get off work. And I'm okay with that. I like that. This is why I do it. I usually, sorry, my boob itches. Sorry. Sounds a little daunting, especially people who are like, why would it take you that long? But usually it lines up with the days I have to wash my hair, and usually on the days I like to wash my hair, I shave and scrub and do the whole thing. I didn't start, doing this overnight where it was like 25 steps and it took me 4 hours and I didn't know what I was doing and all this stuff. But the more and more and more I've gotten into my skincare and in my health, I have expanded, and it varies day to day, or time to time that I do it. It's not day to day, but at time to time that I do it. It does vary. This would be the more Instagram worthy ritual, but I don't do any of that stuff. I don't put it on Instagram. Maybe I will start, but I don't like to. It's kind of, not that it's personal, but it's like, I find if people don't know what they're doing, or if they don't know where to start, it can look like these people with self-care rituals and routines have their shit figured out, and that's literally the exact opposite. The whole point of self-care is to kind of figure your shit out. Usually I do a clay mask because I don't like doing a clay mask if I'm not going to get in the shower, because it irritates my skin, because it's just hard to take off. I don't like doing it unless I have to get in the shower. So I do a clay mask, I get in the shower, I shave, I scrub, I wash, I treat, I do the whole thing. And I pretty much use all my nice products in this part, because treat yourself, girl. I usually do a sheet mask because I like to hydrate my skin and replenish my skin after I detoxified it. Then I do my whole hair care routine. Then I do my whole hair care routine. I do my whole skincare routine. I do my whole skincare routine after my sheet mask is done. I watch my shows and I get in my bed. Sometimes it involves wine. Sometimes it involves other things. Sometimes it's just simply getting in my bed and watching Game of Thrones, because apparently watching season 7 times isn't enough. Lately, my favorite thing to do is just inject self-care type things in my everyday life. Usually that includes doing yoga and meditation in the morning and in the evening, because my 2018 goal is to start doing yoga and meditation twice a day. And have I been doing that? No, I haven't. I've meditated twice, and it is January 16th. It's the 16th. So sometimes it's, you're eating healthy, and that's self-love, is eating healthy. But sometimes it's also having some chocolate. Sometimes it's buying myself something nice that I've liked. Sometimes it's buying Starbucks. Even though I only have $12 in my bank account and it's going to take up half of that, I will buy the Starbucks. And then sometimes it's just getting into bed when I get home from work, because sometimes work sucks and you want to get into bed. All I want you guys to take away from this video is that anything that brings you happiness and joy in life is self-care and can be implemented in a self-care routine. And that's what I want. I want you guys to all love yourselves and care for yourselves. Hope you guys learned something from this video. Whether it's to start a self-care... Oh, I didn't pause Grey's Anatomy. My bad. Oh my god, I hope you guys learned something from this video, whether it's to start a self-care routine or maybe add something new to your self-care routine. Who knows? If you guys want any more videos like this, please let me know, because I would love to do more videos like this, because I love doing this stuff. I love finding things to put in my self-care routine. I love finding new things to do. I love finding it all. I love adding new things, trying new things, see if they work. If they don't, cut them out. I don't know. I want to make it like a thing. I don't know what else to do besides new things I find, but I think that's going to be it. I will see you guys later, okay? Bye.